What's up everybody, it's me, True Star Screamer, and we're here with another G.I. Joe Classified Series review. This guy just arrived, so this is fresh out of the box from Hasbro. This is Darklon. Well, yes, says Cobra, we all know he's part of the Iron Grenadiers. If I recall in the G.I. Joe lore, this guy's actually like Destro's cousin, but he's an awesome Grenadier character. I love the design. Got some great stuff on the back here. I tell you, I need more Grenadier figures in my life. I really do. Back artwork looks amazing. Side stuff, that art's okay, I guess. Not their best, to be honest. But I saw this guy, and kind of like Shadow Tracker, I got those really cool Predator vibes from him. And I'm not gonna lie, as I look at him, I'm almost wishing I got more than one, because especially with these two helmets, I know he's a unique character and all that, but it does also kind of lend itself to army building. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, enough about the box. Let's get him out and let's see if we've got ourselves another stellar figure from Hasbro. So we have Darklon out of the package, and I'm semi-torn on this. There are so many things I like about this figure, and so many things that it just feels like almost like they kind of let me down. And it has to do a lot with the aesthetic choices, some of the things that they chose not to do. It's a mixed bag here. There's a few things that I plan on actually fixing myself, which I haven't done in a while as far as customizing goes. As you can see, big thing, he's got everything all loaded up. And he's got a lot of good gear. And he even has my favorite thing of having, backup weapons when the primary stuff isn't there. Accessories are absolutely on point. So, when we'll talk about those. First, I want to talk about this sword and the scabbard. This is beautiful. It is beautifully painted. I love the stitching on here. Okay, yes, maybe a little bit of dry brush on there, and that's literally the only nitpick I have on this. The scabbard pegs in beautifully. The sword looks gorgeous. Serrated blade on here. The Cobra snake pommel looks great. I love this. This is like something Deathstroke would have in all the right ways. So I love that. He's got a nice dagger here, and the sheath right here. The painting is right on point. The blade looks good. Okay, maybe a red handle would have been cool, but that is literally just bitching right now. So I love that. His actual paint job, I mean, this is a very simplistic buck. I think we've seen a lot of these pieces before. No complaints. He actually has that ball torso that I really like, though the way this body is done, it probably could have used the older style, just because of how the harness is. Harness looks good. Again, all the painting is uniform. Where things get a little weird for me is this gun. This is supposed to be like some kind of dart gun with using the compressed air. First and foremost, positive, it was one of the easiest guns I've ever gotten in the hand of a Joe figure. It just slides right in. That part's great. He actually has two major trigger areas. Actually, no, I had that in the wrong trigger. So, I could be wrong about that. But, let me put this down here. The gun itself is really well designed, but man, I wanted more paint on this. I absolutely need more paint on this. It's a beautiful, unique weapon, and yes, I will say, it is on the gummy side. But again, how this is designed, that could be a pro or a con depending on how you have it wedged in. But I could care less about the gumminess in this case. For me, this really did need more paint to it. I mean, if we could put the paint on the scabbard and the sword, we could have put the paint on here. Second, like I said, this is some kind of dart weapon, which I also like the fact we can put effect parts in here as a pro for it. Why does he have grenades on his leg when he didn't come with a grenade launcher? Wonderfully painted grenades, I have to say, but these are not the rounds for this, so this is kind of very redundant. Finally, he does have a stub pistol, and I love this holster, by the way. And that is single slug. I guess I can deal with that. That's just a big solid piece of black plastic. It's actually kind of a pain getting it in there. I actually had to use a flathead screwdriver to pry open the plastic a little to get it in there, but it works. Again, I like that for the design because he's got a weapon like this. Once that runs out of ammo, he's got close combat stuff, which I really like. But those are my nitpicks about the accessories. Figure itself, as you all know, I love asymmetry, so I like the armor on the shoulder here. Again, how the scabbard is. I get very good Deathstroke vibes to it. Helmet, the primary helmet, looks really cool, but what's really awesome is the secondary helmet right here. This looks badass. Let me go ahead and change this out. This is almost like a ceremonial, like, hunting mask. Like, when he's going up against a foe that he truly respects, he would put this helmet on. This is so fucking badass. Pardon my language, but it is. I like how the back of this is uniform with the, this is with the uniform, so it's like he's got, like how a wetsuit goes over somebody's face completely and then puts the mask on it. This really does well for that illusion. The other thing that kind of bugs me is that's as high up as he can look. So pop this off. I am absolutely going to take a carving knife in here and clean this out so he can look up a little more. In fact, give me a quick edit right here. So it might not seem like much, but I did take a hobby knife and I just literally carved a little notch right in here where I got the screwdriver in, just cleaning that out a little. And that gives that barbell just that much more room to maneuver. So when I put that head on there, he can look up that much more, which, honestly, yes, that helps. Fortunately, with how the harness is, ab crunch really isn't that much. Just to talk on some of the articulation, take that off there real quick. So the ab crunch could be a little better. I'm sure I could probably go inside and carve up some more, and I may end up doing it depending on how this day goes. Because the torso is a little on the tighter side. Butterfly joints, decent. I couldn't do the butterfly trick if I wanted to because they do go all the way, and then the actual hard shell stops it. So even if I had more butterfly joint, it physically couldn't go that much more. Legs, they're fine. No boot swivel. There is a boot swivel, which I like. I was surprised. That actually makes me really happy. Of course, everything is pinless. Drop down hips. Life is good. So, a little of the articulation could be a little bit better, but and this is one of the few ones I've altered, and I haven't done that in a while. But I really think he needs it, especially kind of give him that more predatory stance. I also want to point out they did put the vertical hinge here on the hand, so for the sword, that is absolutely awesome. I did put the gun in the proper hand this time, and it actually goes in there pretty easy. So I like how definitely want to put it in this hand, because I do like how the hose kind of gets out of the way. The stock is a little tight on there, keep that in mind, but overall, it's a good setup on here. I personally have zero attachment to Darklon on a nostalgia level. I think, like I said, I think he was in the comics. He definitely wasn't in any of the shows. But as a figure, as a character, as a Joe, this is a very cool design. Execution, pretty well pulled off. As I said, I've got gripes. I started this video saying, will this be another awesome Hasbro figure? That's not because I'm a Hasbro, it's because I've enjoyed a lot of the recent Joes lately, with a few exceptions, not gonna lie. And this one, he's good. He could absolutely be better. Again, this weapon, I'm sorry, they cheaped out on that. That should have gotten so much more paint. I should have gotten paint on the stock, maybe the tube, if at a minimum, the stock and the barrel. Literally, at a minimum. The sword is gorgeous. Like I said, you saw me carve out the neck. That just needs to be done. They really need to work on their necks in general. Joints are tight. Plastic is good. Some of the aesthetic choices, like the grenades, but with a dark gun, go figure. But I do like how this gun does have effect capabilities. So that's nice. Sword is gorgeous. Deco is good. He'll look great with your Iron Grenadiers if you're doing an Iron Grenadier shelf. And that's the nice thing. So this is a great figure to have, especially if you're looking to complete the army. Like I also said, this guy could be an army builder unto himself with these helmets. You get two more with the basic helmet on here and have that being the squad leader. Or like I said, my new canon is he puts this on when he's going for the high-profile targets. That's all you. Play with your toys as you like. Me, I'm glad I bought him. I think he'll look good in your collection. Definitely not a must own, but if you're definitely not the worst figure in the line this year by far. So I'm pleased. My money feels well spent, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. In fact, if you did, please give it a like. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 700. Yes, that's right. We're on our way to 700 because 700 gets us that much closer to 1,000. And so maybe if we hit 700, I'll do something cool. But the only way that's going to happen is to hit that subscribe button. And speaking of cool things, more things are on the way. Hasbro Pulse has told me they're shipping me stuff. I've got stuff coming in from DFW. I wonder what that could be. Praetorian Ravager. And of course, just whatever shows up from 5K finally. We don't know when that stuff shows up, but when it does, it's awesome. But, as always, until next time, take care. Peace.